I'm not going back and forth with a man who thinks that they should be in my position. If you want to be in my position, get in my position.
Do you believe that?
Bluff City Media presents The Anthony Sain Show on YouTube at Bluff City Media. Stepping up to the microphone is your host, Anthony Sain.
Acknowledge me.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Anthony Sain Show. This is, of course, your host, Anthony Sain, here live from the Bluff City Media Studios. Kenny Summerfield behind the glass. What's going on, my boy?
My brother, what's up, man?
Man,
you good?
Good, man. Feeling good in the place to be, man. And not to be at the same time. Shout out to Outkast. You don't know about that line, man. But we are here for another show at the Bluff City Media Studios. Of course, today is Wednesday, so we got my boy, Parish Sharkey, Memphis Grizzlies beat writer for Bluff City Media, is going to be in the building. We're going to talk about the Memphis Grizzlies, man. We got Attitude MMA is going to be in the building as well. I heard there's a guy from Memphis is going to be here, man.
Yeah, man. You better get ready.
Yeah, I'm ready for it for sure. Heard some law school guys in there, man. Law school. Hey, bro, I ain't going to lie. My dream, man, I live vicariously through law school MMA, man. I told you last show, it was some shit almost went down. It got into it with somebody.
I know, in the ring after the last fight.
Exactly. Then when they left out, I was about to leave out with them. I was about to get in line, man. You hear me? Like, where we going? But I was like, where we going? But yeah, man, law school MMA is going to be in the building. Got a couple guys that will be fighting the main event, I heard.
Co-main event.
The co-main event for Attitude
MMA.
MMA next Saturday at the Memphis Music Room. February the 10th is going down, man. I would definitely be in the building to check that out if I can at all. But I'm trying to clear my schedule up, man.
Yes, sir.
So I got some conflicts going on, but I'm gonna try to be up in that joint for sure if I can, man. But the guys from Attitude MMA will be joining us today, so it's gonna be an action-packed show.
We got tickets to give out, right?
Yeah, we got tickets to give out. We're gonna figure out how to get those done. Probably not on today's show. We're probably leaning towards
next couple shows.
Friday's show. Let's start getting us away on Friday.
Okay.
Yeah. Start doing it on Friday probably, man. But we'll get those tickets out to you guys as soon as possible for the big show with Attitude MMA. But since the last time we talked, Kenny Stubblefield, Memphis Grizzlies games are fun again, man.
Yes, they are.
Hey, there were people who were saying, Grizzly fans, come on over and watch these good old fun Tiger games, number 10 team in the country.
Right.
It ain't fun watching Tiger games.
It ain't fun
It ain't
anymore,
fun at all no more, man. It's kind of work to watch Tiger games, man. You're looking at a team that is not having fun out there on the court at FedEx Forum with the Tigers. They went on the road and lost a game to UAB. Game where the Tigers didn't look like at any point they had control of the game.
Well, it looked like they gave up, too, in the second half.
Yeah, in that second half, UAB pretty much rolled away with that game. We'll talk about that, of course, later on in the game. But I do want to talk about how Grizzly games are fun again, man. It's no pressure, Kenny. They're gonna fall somewhere between 6 and 10, more than likely this year. You've got a very good roster that you're gonna have next year. You're gonna get some version of Steven Adams back. You're gonna get some version of Brandon Clark back, possibly this year. You're playing with house money, man, and you've got two for sure rotation players you've identified out of nowhere. Diamonds in the rough.
It's a win all the way around.
Yeah, you got Vince Williams and Gigi Jackson who've been really good players, especially Vince. And you can just see the sky's the limit for a guy like Gigi. You're 6'9", versatile.
6'9", 220.
Yeah, he can put the ball on the ground.
And he's still a baby.
He's still a kid. He's showing defensive abilities as well, shot blocking.
Yeah.
Sky's the limit for a guy like that. It is just fun, man. You get a guy like Matthew Hurt, who's got like he's got Mike Miller comps as man. He's Timu Mike Miller version. And then you draft another Timu Mike Miller and Jake LaRavia, who everyone seems to hate. Then Matthew Hurt comes out with the Larry Bird jump shot, splashing them Jones. I'm like, all right, bro. Like I did this last week with Scottie Pippen. I was like, all right, bro. I'm not getting excited about Scottie Pippen Jr. And I'm definitely not getting excited about Matthew Hurt.
I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if this is around the league in terms of other teams that have this, but it feels like the Memphis Grizzlies, when they call up somebody from the hustle, that those players tend to have pretty awesome runs when they're with the Grizzlies.
Yeah, I mean, it's
what is that? Like, why is that? Like, everybody they call up has good runs.
Their system, man, is pretty lock and step. Because I've been to Grizzlies practices, like media availabilities, and the hustle players are out there. like they're all in the same building, like they're leaving the court. Not practicing together, but they're like, they're in the. I think they build camaraderie.
Right.
I think they kind of feel like almost they're all part of the same team.
Yeah.
Almost to an
Okay.
extent. And I know
They
they're
run
running
the same
They
shit.
run pretty much the same stuff.
Yeah.
And I think the Grizzlies and the Hustle really do things the way that the G League is supposed to run, where it's beneficial for the home team. They're really running like a true farm system.
Yeah.
Where they're not operating on a total different agenda to the home team. But like I said, it's just been fun, man. And you added 2 more dudes today. Added Trey Jemison, got me out of my seat, excited to see my guy Trey Jemison on the Grizzlies. Big country boy from Alabama, man.
Dude, he is a stud.
Yeah, he looks like a grown ass man. This is a rookie. This is a guy. This is his rookie season.
That's wild.
Played for UAB. Want to say he was at Clemson, Auburn, somewhere.
Was it Clemson? I think it was Clemson, wasn't it?
One of the bigger Alabama's. Clemson's Alabama school. Right?
No, South Carolina. Let me see.
What I'm talking about then? It ain't Clemson then. It was an Alabama school he played for.
Maybe it was Auburn then.
I think it was Auburn. Might have been Clemson. I might just be mistaken. I think it might.
He's from Birmingham. He played for Clemson.
Yeah, Clemson. Yeah, I don't know why I thought they were
Played for
Alabama
Clemson
school.
for 2 seasons, then transferred to UAB.
Yeah. So, big country boy, Trey Jemison has inked a 10-day contract with the Memphis Grizzlies, as well as a black dude from England, 21 Savage. I don't know, but I also call him Skinny Lofton because he's got a lot of the Kenny Lofton like thing going
The
for him.
attributes, yeah.
He's 6'7", he can rebound, he can dribble. Not really. I mean, he can't shoot though. Kenny can shoot the ball a little bit, but he looks like Skinny Kenny Lofton, man. So I'm calling him Skinny Lofton right now. Don't even play with me about what that dude's name is. I asked Parish if he knows the dude's name, but his name is like just a letter salad of just like it looked like somebody fell asleep at the keyboard and just pushed some buttons and it came through for his name. So we got that dude. Him as well as Trey Jemison. So we'll see what those guys look like going forward for the Memphis Grizzlies. Like I said, games are fun, man, just to see them go out there and compete. And you're getting, looks at guys that you typically would not get a look at, that you can evaluate to see what you're going to do with these guys for the future if you can get something going with them, man. You're playing with house money.
Let me try the name. Tosan F. Baumwan.
Hey.
F. Baumwan. F. Baumwan?
Whatever you say, bro.
Tosan F. Baumwan.
Hey, if you say that's right with me because I'll never say his name.
All right.
21 Savage.
There you go.
Skinny Lofton Jr. That's all I got for you. That's all I got for you for sure, man. But we got more coming up, man. Parish Sharkey is coming up now for the sit down with Sain. Plus the guys from Attitude MMA are going to come on later on the show as well. It's going to be a great show for you guys. About to take a break. When we come back, my boy Parish Sharkey is going to be in the building here on the Anthony Sain Show. See you guys in a minute.
This is one of the stranger stories that have happened during Penny Hardaway's time at Memphis, which has been marred by some pretty crazy things going on. But this might be at the top of the list.
Let me first say I am glad to hear that he's gotten over his sickness.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it was made him lose some daggum weight. I'll tell you that.
He looks a little more in shape, brother. I can't lie.
I mean, let me get that, bro.
This went from, reports of the team not being so open to the idea to in a week, hey, he's on the team. I want to know who voted no and who voted yes and how many are on each side. From my experience, it just sort of feels like you had a lot of no votes, maybe a couple of yeses, but the coaches still made the decision for the team ultimately.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Outside of just Memphis conference realignment, there's been some rumblings all over the Twitterverse. TJ, you heard anything about a merger with the Big 12 ACC leftovers and the Pac-2?
We've heard it, but it just seems weird to think about, right?
The Pac is trying to get and retain their AQ status.
I mean, they're going to have to add some teams. I don't know what the number. I can't remember the number. If it's 6 or 8 on how many teams.
I don't know that they're having to add. I think what he's alluding to is a merger of the Big 12. Florida State breaks away, and whatever 3 or 4 teams go. Let's say this merger, they end up with 30 teams. You're looking at 3 10-team
Something like that.
Mini divisions or whatever.
Sure.
Whatever they're going to call it. I don't know.
I definitely think that there's going to be some changing.
Tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
All right, y'all, welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show. To sit down with Sain each and every Wednesday with my man, Parish Sharkey. Memphis Grizzlies beat writer for Bluff City Media in the building. Parish, what's going on, my brother?
I ain't nothing much.
Man, it's good to see you, man. Good to have you here. Got a lot going on. I was talking to Kenny in the first segment, man. Like, I've never had this much fun in a shitty season.
Right.
I'm happy with the Grizzlies, man.
I was telling somebody that at work today where I was like, it's fun watching them. It's like now going to the games are fun.
It's
like,
no
I'm
pressure.
enjoying
Like,
it.
you go to the games and it's like, okay, what's GG going to do? What is Vince going to do? Last night we had Matthew Hurt ass out there knocking down shots.
Hey, shout out to Matthew Hurt. Like when I covered the hustle last year, like he was a dominate. And what's crazy was he split time with Kenny Lofton. So when Kenny Lofton was up with the Grizzlies, he'd be killing. Then Kenny Lofton come down, he had to take a step back because Kenny Lofton is his team. So yeah, I'm glad to actually see him like just get it shot for these 2 days.
Matthew Hurt is looking like the modern day version of I can't think of the guy's name. What was his name? He was a point guard that could shoot the ball real good. White kid. He played for the hustle forever. He was almost like
Dusty Hannah.
Yeah, Dusty Hannah. Yeah, he's about to be this year's Dusty Hannah. But imagine, bro, like you're getting ready for a hustle game, and then you get the call from Zach Kleiman. Hey, we shout. we suit up, kid. Go give some NBA money for about 10 days.
What's
like,
crazy is I think they practiced at the forum.
That's
so
what I'm saying.
You already there. So
it was like, hey, put this Grizzly jersey on. You know what I mean? And they sold him up right quick. You know what I'm saying? Got the Matthew Hurt jersey for sure. Tough loss the other night. A lot of talk about the Taylor Jenkins call. Taking Jaren Jackson out of the game, about 3.5 minutes left. Jaren had 5 fouls. You come back, the game's over by the time you bring Jaren back in. What were your thoughts on that whole thing?
Initial reaction, what the hell are you doing? I mean, we all looked at each other. You know, I'm sitting next to Parker. Even Parker questioning. Like, you know, Parker, you know.
What?
Yeah, Parker questioning.
The Jenkins water told himself.
Yeah, Parker, you know, sitting next to him.
He was shaking a little bit, but the jug was shaking.
There was a lot of water carriers that were shaking last night.
Chris Harrington
went in on it. Yeah,
I'm like, damn.
Right. And shout out to Chris Harrington because I was going to ask the question. He asked, like, he got the mic first, like, cool. I was going to ask, and like I said, me, Sharon, Terry, all like, what the heck we doing? I mean, it was 3:43 left in the game. I just remember that specifically. And I think I
would have to ask his ass again if it was like,
low key.
But yeah, on Chris' question,
because we had thought. My first thought was like, okay, he laid on the ground for a minute. Is he hurt? I hope he ain't hurt because there was one time Scottie Pippen fell down. It's like, bro, we can't afford to lose somebody else. Bro. Come on now. Like,
let me ask you if you know what? Okay, because I was thinking about the rule, right? You had to have 8, right?
Yeah.
But if somebody gets hurt and they can't play, the game goes on. The game don't stop unless you got 4 dudes. Unless you got less than.
I think even then it go on.
No.
In the NBA?
No.
Well, I don't know NBA. I know
it's a forfeit at that point, right?
I know.
I don't know, man. You tell me.
I just seen College Sexton play 3-on-5 before. You know.
In college.
I don't know the NBA rules.
I know NBA. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I know NBA 2K they stopped the game like it freezes.
For real. Well, I ain't never had.
Y'all got to turn injuries down on 2K then, man.
No, like for foul outs.
Losing 17 people in a game.
How many people foul?
I don't know, man. I just wondered what would happen. Like if you, I don't know.
That's a good point, though.
Yeah, but the Grizzlies lost that game. The Sacramento team pulled it out at the end. That Sacramento team is a really good team too, for sure. So, but
man, Sabonis had 20 rebounds at halftime.
Don't remind me.
Man, 27 rebounds.
Don't remind me. But the fun thing about this season is that so far we've got to see GG Jackson emerge. You've got to see Vince Williams emerge. And now you're getting these guys in on these 10-day contracts. It's like you're getting not free looks because you got to pay them, but you're getting free looks at these guys like the Trey Jemison of the world, like 21 Savage. I don't know what it's Skinny Lofton Jr. I don't know.
I had his pronunciation down packed before we got on this show. And I forgot already.
You lying?
Shout out to Gabe Kuhn and Connor Dunning.
They went and broke it down?
They was trying to break it down on air before we came on here.
Skinny Lofton Jr. That's what I call him. What's his? He's like from England or something like that.
Oh, I didn't look.
But his name isn't British. Is,
No, it's Tosan. That's his first name.
Tosan, yeah.
I don't know last name.
I kind of like him, man. Have you looked at his highlights with him?
I ain't got a chance to yet.
He's like 6'7"ish, but he actually looks 6'7". He looks like every bit of 6'7" for sure. Like he might be, he's about 6'7". He can put the ball on the ground a little bit. He can, he can dribble the ball a little bit. He can rebound. He can defend. Can't shoot for shit. Nah. But
there we go
it's kind of like a, I don't really know who I compare him to. But
that sound like
energy guy kind of.
That sound like Josh Giddey's draft profile.
Nah, because he's not a guard at all. Yeah. Oh, you mean Josh Giddey like J?
No, I'm just saying draft profile was he couldn't shoot, but he was like a taller guard that can handle the ball.
He's. I don't think he's that level of guard. He kind of reminds me of, dare I say, like a DeAndre Williams type. But I think he's more of a true front court player than DeAndre is. But yeah, man, I think he'll be fine, whatever. But you know what I'm excited about, man? They got my boy Trey Jamison, man. I told people just relax on him. The NBA is a business, man, and stuff kind of, because people say, why didn't the Grizzlies sign him on a 2-way?
Get the 10-day.
They still didn't sign him on a 2-way. Right. They signed him on a 10-day deal. You know what I mean? And so you get Trey Jamison, who's a 6'10", 6'11", just an old school beefy big man. Gets out, rebounds, defends, rim runs, putbacks at the goal, pick and roll type of guy. A guy who kind of got some Steven Adams comps at one time when he was in college. Big country boy from Alabama, Southern roots, of course. Gets to play for the Grizzlies on a 10-day contract. I'm going to say this now. Trey Jamison will be on this team next year. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be on the roster, but he will be part of the Grizzlies organization next year. I think they're going to see enough from him that he's going to be on the 2-way. If I was to make a prediction now, I think Scottie Pippen Jr. will be as well. Yeah. I think he'll be back next year on the 2-way. GG Jackson won't. He's going to be on the main roster.
Yep.
And I think I'm not sure what you're going to do with Jacob Gilead. Because if you got Scottie Pippen Jr., I don't know why you would need two true point guards on your on a 2-way deal. Plus, I want to say this is the second year for him anyway. Like he's on his second year of his 2-way.
This is his first year on 2-way.
No, he was on a 2-way last year.
He signed at it was like literally the last game of the season.
So how does that work then? Is that first year don't count?
Yeah,
shit, man.
I know, because it was literally the last game of the season.
Yeah, I know.
It wasn't the full year.
I don't know how none of that works for sure. So yeah, but that's my prediction.
I know. I guess where they count now. I know Vince Williams was on 2-way. I think they have to re-sign them every year, if I ain't mistaken.
No, but it's only you can only be on one for 2 years with the team. I think after that you got to make a decision what you're gonna do with the dude.
But to your point, because he only had one game on the 2-way.
Yeah, so I wonder how that whole thing would work. So, but I like Trey Jamison for sure. I think he's gonna be a good addition here. Didn't play a second hardly in Washington. I think he played maybe 2 minutes total in his 10-day with Washington. But like I said, it's a good opportunity to see what you have in these guys.
Which is crazy because Washington sucked.
Yeah, why did y'all play?
How you not? How they not give playing time?
Yeah, like what you even sign them for? You know what I mean? I ain't understand none of that.
Got 9 wins.
Right.
We got 18.
Trying to, damn. We're going to be about to start tanking. Just rest some dudes. Just go sign Trey Jamison just in case. Like I never understood why they signed him in the first place, especially why they didn't play him or whatever. The trade deadline is coming up. And the whole 10-day thing does add an interesting wrinkle to that.
Yeah.
I think I've heard different times. I think I saw somewhere they believe the Grizzlies were granted this Sunday, and some people were saying it happened about a week ago, as far as being granted the exception.
A week ago.
Yeah, exactly. on a Tuesday, but yeah, there were people saying that it was it's different times when it happened, but it didn't happen this morning. That the Grizzlies have already had this in their back pocket.
Which I would have thought they would have already had the back pocket.
Yeah,
everybody been out since early January.
Right, so
I would have thought that anyway.
They got this exception to be able to sign guys on 10-day waiver, 10-day contracts, whatever. So with that being said, something interesting that Chris Harrington brought up was, okay, yeah, the Grizzlies have had this for a while, but they're just now using it because they really start running out of guys.
Yeah.
Another interesting thing he said was that with the trade deadline coming up, if you sign a guy today, that 10 days goes past the trade deadline. So I'm like, all right.
Because I think I remember Kalistu on Jeff Calkins' show, right? He had mentioned that, if they make a trade and the players they make trades for can't play, they have the 10-day guys.
Yeah, you got guys who can fill in that gap or whatever. So does that make you think that, because last week we came here, I was like, I don't think the Grizzlies are going to do anything. Now I got a guy that I am looking at that I think we may be about to move. And looking at them signing Trey Jamison makes me feel the same way.
Yep.
It's Tillman.
Yep. Expiring contract.
It's an expiring contract. You're worried about the luxury tax stuff anyway. if you could just kind of eliminate that whole deal with him, it kind of gets you a little bit more breathing room. Mm-hmm. I would love to see him back next year. Then I talked about last week about the ability and the value of having all your guys under contract and just working all that out next season. But how valuable is if you sign Tillman to an $8 or $10 million deal, whatever, right? How valuable is he as a trade asset? Like, can you really move him? If you extend Luke Kennard, you can trade Luke Kennard any day of the year next year. You know what I mean? Right. But would you be able to move Xavier Tillman is easy if you sign him to a deal.
Right.
So I could definitely see the Grizzlies, trying to move him at the deadline and seeing where that goes.
Anthony, I got a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Last week you talked about the connecting the dots.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing some of the things.
I'm a dot
out there.
connector, man.
You're a dot connector.
I told y'all Trey Jennings. I had a feeling he was coming.
You said it.
Yeah,
you was like, it's just saying.
Well, they call you Sain Stradamus.
Sain Stradamus, man.
Yes, sir.
Had to go and show y'all something. But go ahead.
You mentioned a potential trade with Luke Kennard. Some of the things you're seeing. Are you kind of falling back on that a little bit?
Yeah, I said that. I said that on here, right?
Yeah, last week.
Yeah, I mean, I said that. I said that I don't think they're gonna do that.
Not on here. But
not on here. You might have said it on another show.
I've changed my whole mind on that whole thing. Like, at one time, I thought that Luke Kennard would be... No, on Thursday's show, I did say that. I changed my mind in 2 days on it.
Okay.
But yeah, like, I don't think... At the time, I was like, you could trade Luke Kennard, right? And you could clear up a lot of salary, and you could get an expiring contract, and you could get a young player on a lower deal. But now I'm looking at, like, the value may just be in having all your dudes with you, because you got until next offseason to do that. Like, if you're trying to get below the luxury tax, as long as you get that done within that calendar year, meaning within in that season, you don't have to go into the year under the luxury tax. As long as you get it done within that year. So I can see signing Luke, having an asset in your hand, in your back pocket, decide what you want to do with it. So yeah, I changed my whole thoughts on that like within a week. I thought it was 2 weeks ago, but I guess it was Tuesday. but yeah, man. But trade deadline is coming up, like I said. I don't think they're going to be able to move the Zaire Williams, the David Rodneys, the Jake LaRavias. I think those guys all will be Grizzlies. I don't think they're really in the interest of trading draft assets or draft capital to move one of those guys either. So I think we will see those guys after the deadline. What are your thoughts on it kind of drives me crazy, I ain't gonna lie. What are your thoughts on when you see guys like G.G. Jackson, who you've seen what they can do, when you're still pilling around with like Zaire Williams? He ain't like, bro. I heard all these reasons why he shouldn't start yesterday. I'm like, bro, stop, man. Like none of that you're saying makes sense.
I got like, 8 players, bro.
People like, well, you got to have somebody off the bench.
You got 8 players.
All right, bro.
You only got 3 coming out the bench.
What's my guy? Shit, man. That Jake LaRavia. Santiago Aldama's been coming off the bench the entire season. What are you talking about? What do you mean you got to have something off the bench? Like, when you see the political stuff happening, man, like, do you think that's going to end at the trade deadline? Even if, okay, let's say these guys, because it seems like, because the common thought is they're playing Zaire to trade them, they're playing Roddy to trade them. They're just trying to, showcase those guys, highlight those guys, whatever. If in the event they don't trade those guys, do you think that's going to change? Do you think that the pecking order is going to change with Taylor Jenkins in the front office?
I have no idea.
I got a feeling I feel like I'm getting set up for this.
The only reason I have no idea is because I think it all depends on how quickly they get GG on the full active roster. Mm-hmm. I think whenever they sort out, get the extra roster spot, he actually gets on the active roster. Then I feel like, ain't nothing stopping him from playing more now, but I just kind of feel like he'll be on the active roster. You would probably, the front office probably make the call, like, nah, we invest in him. Make sure he playing.
Yeah, man, it's really kind of getting on my nerves, bro. Because I'm like, all right, bro, I'm tired of Zaire Williams. He had like one good game a few days ago, and then
I told my wife, she be getting on in my head. I was like, I had one game like every 15 games or so.
Yeah, man, it's like I'm not falling for that, man. Like I'm out on Zaire, but I'll say this though. If you said, okay, 2 of those 3 guys are gonna be gone. If Jake LaRavia's gone, David Wright is gone, Zaire's gone, but we got to keep one. Who would I keep? It'd be Zaire to me.
For real.
Like I think David Wright is kind of terrible.
David Wright is me.
Like he has to like work really hard to be okay.
Well, I mean the reason I look at like these guys are not gonna be part of the rotation. So which guys, when somebody get hurt, do I trust more just to kind of step in and fit in for
to be a stabilizer?
It's got to be David Roddy.
Yeah, I trust David Roddy out of those three.
I just think that like Zaire might have some flashes of non-sorriness in him.
Zaire has the most potential.
You're right, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah.
He does.
So then David Roddy's 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah,
and he's like a power forward. What are your thoughts on David Roddy, the point guard that we were seeing?
I mean, we just see everybody play point guard this point. might as well let Tillman run some points.
It's
man.
so wild, man. It's so wild. As far as Coach Taylor Jenkins is concerned, we started off being critical of what obviously was a questionable play. Some people were saying it's tanking. I'm like, yeah, y'all talk about his tanking. I've seen them do that in the effing playoffs. Bro. Like, I don't want to hear that. I've seen the same thing. I seen them do the same thing in the playoffs. But there's been a lot of complimentary, things that have been said about him. What is Taylor Jenkins, man? Is he the coach that has been the leader of this team, who's been overachieving these last few weeks with everybody out, or is he more like the coach who had us frustrated during the 25 games before Ja Morant came?
It's a little bit of both because, I mean, he's helped. I mean, it's no question that he's helped stabilize the team because think about this season. That's a lot to go through, all these different players.
Yeah.
So that's for any coach. So it's kind of, he still deserves criticism, right? But you also got to be like, all right, he's still getting dealt a terrible hand this year, and he's trying. I mean, in the past, he used to just stick with what he knew. He never changed lineups and all this stuff. He's changing the lineup every game. They play 15 games in January, 13 different starting lineups in 15 games. That's wild. And that's just him. Man, somebody out here for the game. It's just tough. He's been dealt a very tough hand. So I can kind of get with him on that things, but it's still kind of other problem is the things taking Jaren out with 5 fouls. He did in the Minnesota game. He got, he survived the third quarter without Jaren. He get the early fourth quarter, get the 5th foul. No, you can't take him out at that point because you can't survive no more. You survived the third quarter without him. You can't survive the rest of this game without him.
So. What do you think about Jaren's game? As far as, because I think this is kind of good for him. For him to be
playmaker.
When Jaren got drafted, right?
Yeah.
Before Ja was even thought of, we were looking at Jaren as being the player of the future, or versatile power forward. It could be the star of the team, that type of dude. Because that's kind of where we were at the time. You had Mike and Mark headed out the door. Jaren Jackson Jr. was your draft pick. And we're seeing him now with this cast of characters. And it looks like it's too much for him, but it doesn't look overwhelming to him. He's not drowning out there. You know what I mean? You're seeing Jaren, because that move he had yesterday, we went behind the back and got to the basket. I was like, good God, Jaren. That's the type of time you on.
Some stuff.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And
he aggressive.
Yeah.
I've never seen him just disaggressive, get the ball and just taking it to the goal.
And it doesn't look abnormal. This is kind of like what we've grown to. We've gotten used to seeing him have that type of game.
Yep.
So what are your overall thoughts on just what you've seen him, how you've seen him progress so far?
Man, he's progressed very nicely. I know last night we talked to him. He was talking. We was asking about the playmaking. I forgot which game it was they had lost, and he was just so disappointed. He was like, "Man, I need to make sure I start helping my teammates more. When them double and triple teams come, I need to make sure I make the extra pass." And he was mentioning how he throughout his career he averaged 1 assist. He was like, "Man, now when I get assists, I be excited." Now he had 3, 4, 5 assists these last couple of games. Yeah. So it's just seeing him just get the ball, give him the ball, make him be the playmaker at the top of the key. And, we saw some of that in the bubble. Cause I remember in the bubble before he got hurt, he was just being very aggressive, driving to the goal and stuff. And it's that's the Jaren that's back now. I don't know if the injuries kind of steered him away from it and all different types of things. But he's definitely, now you see him taking advantage of mismatches. Now you see Coach actually enforcing, give him the ball when he is a mismatch. You see his teammates actually looking for him. When he has to mismatch. So it's a lot of different things that you're seeing that now you got no choice but to put the game around Jaren, make him the number one option, and you're seeing him pretty much driving that.
Because it's hard because you're seeing teams strategize to take Jaren out of the game. And he's still kind of battling through it. When he can't get to the basket, can't finish like he want, he's getting fouled, getting to the free throw line. His game, we're literally watching his offensive game mature. And I'm watching the game the other night against Sacramento, I believe. No, who was the other game?
Indiana,
yeah. And, I'm watching on the bootleg stream, and it's the Pacers commentators, right? And they're like, man, this Jaren Jackson Jr. kid, he's breaking down, how they're defending. They got the wall set up like you're playing Giannis, and that's how you got to guard. I was like, what the hell am I listening to?
That's how it's been.
Yeah, teams are guarding him, using the Giannis package to defend him, you know what I mean? So I think that's an honor for sure that the teams are guarding him that way, that he's the type of guy that he's he's feeling that because in our offense, we had everybody spread out, and Ja was the guy who was taking guys off the dribble.
Yep.
And Jaren stepped into that role as being the guy who was getting to the basket. And he's doing a pretty good job of it. He's missing a lot of shots at the basket because he's still learning how to finish and how to be that guy.
Yeah.
But I think it's ultimately going to be good for him. Another thing that we'll wrap it up here, man. Another thing that is interesting to think about. It's kind of frustrating when you hear people talking about the tanking stuff, right? I'm like, there's no way you guys are actually looking at the standings. You know what I mean? The lowest that if the Grizzlies were out there and just straight bullshit for the rest of the season, I think the lowest you can get is 6th.
It is tough for them to tank now because
because they're not. Our record's not as bad as people think it is.
I'm looking at teams that's like we got more wins than like Toronto, and I think Chris Harrington was talking about that earlier. It's like, bro, we one game behind Golden State.
Yeah,
in the win column.
like we're closer to the top of the West than we are to the bottom of
if we was in
bottom.
the East, we would be in the play-in right now.
Exactly, man. And it's like, yeah, you can tank, but I think I'm gonna tell you what. There's no way. I don't right now. If you're going from the bottom, like when I say 6 through 10, I mean 6 through 10 from the bottom.
Yeah.
Right now we're in I think 7th or 8th or something like that. I think we'll fall somewhere between that 6th through 10th pick range. Now that moves up in the lottery, cool. But I don't think you're not getting into the top 5, like unless you get a lottery ball.
And think about it, when we got Ja Morant that year, we were
10, we was 8, yeah. So that's what I'm saying, man. Just play the game the right way, man, and just see what happens. I don't think you're gonna fall anywhere between 6 through 10 anyway. And I can't think of the name. I think one dude's name is Filipowski that plays for Duke. And
I ain't even seen Duke.
Some dude and some what's his name? Kenny? It's Filipowski, right?
Kyle Filipowski.
He plays the center for Duke.
Your boy Parker loves him.
And you got the center for UConn, right?
Yeah, Dominic Klingen. I think
welcome to the Memphis Grizzlies, man. That's gonna be that's probably one of them two dudes is gonna be the next Memphis Grizzlies. And I'm not trying to tank for neither one of them. I mean, just go play basketball, man. Right. For sure. But exciting times. It's fun to watch the Grizzlies again, man, for sure. Got my man Parish Sharkey here each and every Wednesday. He's a beat writer for the Bluff City Media, covering your Memphis Grizzlies. You can see him here each and every Wednesday on the Anthony Sain Show. About to take a break. When we come back, man, it's the 3-pointer here on the Anthony Sain Show.
Does the Sean Strickland, Dracus du Plessis thing move the needle at all?
Not at all. Not even close. No one likes either of those guys. They don't fight particularly fun. It was just kind of boring, and like it just feels like it's just a placeholder.
Let me tell you how much of a needle mover Dracus du Plessis is not. He made Sean Strickland the babyface in this fight, and Sean Strickland is a jackass.
There are like 5-minute compilations of him saying like racist remarks and like sexist,
he's
transphobic remarks. He even said it in like the freaking before the fight. He's making transphobic remarks. It's like, dude, why do you have? Can you just act normal for a half second?
And Dracus du Plessis made the fans in Canada say, you know what, we like.
Yeah, we like this guy exactly.
But we're all just waiting for the rightful champion to come back, man. That's all we're waiting on.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
We are currently going the wrong direction. The good news is Penny continues to say that we haven't even scratched the surface of how good we could be.
Let's start scratching that surface, please. All right, so what do we need to do to fix the Tigers?
Playing defense seems like it's a pretty good place to start, honestly, right? I mean, guarding the 3 line, maybe not switching, I guess always switch, but it's the over-helping on defense. I think that's been the biggest issue, and we've talked about it for 4 episodes now, and nothing has changed.
I think outside defensively, I mean, the main thing is what we talked about in the first segment. Like, you got to find a guy or 2. Maybe it's JQ and Malco, but you got to find a vocal leader or 2 that steps up to replace what Caleb Mills was bringing. Like, you got to have somebody internally at the team level that's doing that kind of stuff. It can't just be on the staff.
Tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show. Y'all number boy Parish Sharkey jumps on with me for the 3-pointer where we talk about 3 things going on in the world of sports. Number 1, NBA All-Star Weekend is starting to come together. The highlight of the information that they put out so far today is the first ever guy versus girl, man versus woman, NBA versus WNBA 3-point challenge between Steph Curry and Sabrina Ionescu. She lit that junk up in the WNBA All-Star Weekend. She's going against Steph, the greatest shooter of all time. But this shit gonna be fire.
Is she gonna shoot from the? Where's she gonna shoot from?
You know they do it. He gonna be on his side of the court. She gonna be on his side, right? Or her side.
I believe so. The regular 3-point.
Yeah, and they're gonna make a line. They're gonna add a line for her.
Okay.
In the 3-point shootout. I don't know. They might do it on the same side because they're gonna do it at the same time, right? They're gonna go one at a time. I'm sure.
I suspect they go one at a time.
Yeah.
Right?
So there'll be 2 lines. She'll be shooting from the WNBA line with the WNBA ball. He'll have the NBA line with the NBA ball. So they'll figure all that out. That shit gonna be dope, man. 2 of the greatest shooters probably of all time, playing at the same time. So I think it's dope. It's probably something that's well overdue. I'm as far as the NBA and the WNBA goes, I've never been a fan of them making the WNBA off-season basketball. For the people who think that the WNBA should be taken serious, don't treat it like the XFL. Don't treat it like the showboats.
Summer
You know what I mean?
league, yeah.
Don't make it like it's a summer league. Make it the same time as the NBA so they can partner off each other. Do double headers where, if you have a game, a WNBA game, a big game, have it come before a regular NBA game and package those games together. Let them help each other out. Have a All-Star Weekend together. Those type of things. Like I think we should see more of this type of stuff to put highlights on the things that are going on in the WNBA. It's gonna be exciting stuff. They also listed the teams for the Rising Stars game. I hate how they do it now. All this stuff is stupid.
World versus US.
Yeah, man. I liked it back when Penny Hardaway was in it. When it was rookies versus rookies.
Yeah.
No, it was rookies versus rookies.
Rookies then. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
it was. If you had a rookie on your roster, he was in the game though. It was like it was about 20 dudes that was in it. But I like that. I like that. That was cool, of course. Then they did rookies versus sophomores. That was cool. I hated the rookies versus the USA versus the world, all that. Even though that's the one that Ja Morant. The fact that Jaren, and Brandon Clark were not on the same team, all that was goofy to me.
Team Canada.
It was the USA versus the world.
I know, but I was saying helping for Canada.
It was first and second year players from America versus first and second year players from around the world. And then you just have all these random foreign players who ain't even in the league no more. Like, man, get out of here with this crap. There was some stretch big that the Pelicans had, and he was on it. I was like, man, get this crap out of here, man. So now they're doing it where it's like they're taking first year players, second year players, and G League players, mixing them all together and playing against each other. I'm like, man, and it's like 4 teams of.
I think they did that last year.
That format I'm kind of all right with. The whole
I won't say
the last couple years.
I remember Desmond Bane was
in
played with
on his second
Tyrese Maxey team or something.
Yeah,
like that.
and I don't like all that, man. Like I like to break it into 4 teams thing, kind of the little tournament style. That's kind of all right, but to put the more I talk about it, I do kind of like this shit because it's got the G League like the Unite dudes get to play, right?
Yeah. Because I think Kenny Lofton was in it last year.
Yeah, but man, get out of my face with Matt McClung, though, bro. I think I'm done. I've had my fill with Matt McClung, who
didn't he win the slam dunk last year?
Yeah,
get out
now
of
they
my
got
face,
him playing
man.
the Rising Stars. Like, Matt McClung is like 30 years old, bro. Like, ain't we all
Is
tired?
he
of
even
looking
on a
He was
roster?
a college player.
No.
He's not even on a roster. Why is he playing in this game?
He plays for a G League team. I don't even think he's on a 2-way deal, man. I'm good. I'm good on Matt
He was
McClung.
with the 76ers G League team last year, the 87ers.
Yeah, man. Get out of my face, man. Get out of my face with Matt McClung. But that is the what we know so far about the NBA All-Star Weekend with more to come. You think Luke Kennard gets in the 3-point contest? Has he ever been in?
Is he healthy?
Right, maybe out there with a salt cast.
Might be hurt a lot this year.
I'd love to see Luke in it.
I don't think he's been in one though.
Which is crazy that he's led the league. And he's had to have been in one.
He's had to.
Can you check that out real quick? If Luke Kennard has been in the 3-point contest. Now, I know Desmond Bane was in it and he didn't do well, right? Yeah. So yeah, man, that's what we got as far as that's concerned. In other news, as far as the NBA is concerned,
he was in 2022.
Oh, okay. He must have do shit. He played for Detroit then.
Clippers.
No, he was Clippers. Yeah. I hope. I'd like to see Luke in that joint again. He's shooting the hell out the ball for sure. So hopefully he can get out there with a.
He finished second in that thing.
For real?
I lost to Trae Young. He had the most points after the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, man. Let's get my boy in there, man. Representing the Grizzlies. Why he went in it last year?
I don't know. He had just got traded.
I don't know.
The Clippers weren't playing him. Then he got traded here.
He has been hooping
a week before that.
Yeah, Luke's been playing some really good ball here lately, man, for sure. Grizzly news. We'll talk about some Grizzly stuff. Number one thing I'll talk about as far as they're concerned is the news that came out that the Memphis Grizzlies are working on something. They're planning on some type of.
They're leaving, Anthony.
Yeah, they're leaving. Yeah, we gotta fix the Liberty Bowl so the Grizzlies will stay.
You're right. They're leaving Memphis. They're going to Vancouver. They're going back to Vancouver.
Going to Nashville. Yeah.
Oh, no.
But yeah, man.
You ain't joking about that.
Yeah, exactly. I got so tired of hearing that bullshit.
That hurt my heart a little bit when you just said that.
Yeah, man. I would. If the Grizzlies moved anywhere else, man, I would still be a Grizzlies fan. I believe they'd go to Nashville, man. Hell, that shit. Damn, I'm gonna be a Minnesota fan of y'all. Like.
Be a Sacramento fan.
Yeah, me and my girl Rail, we'd be repping the Pelicans.
Let's go. I was say New Orleans, next closest team after that.
Yeah. I'm not fooling no damn Nashville ass team.
Become a Zion fan,
right?
All
I'll
over
be
again.
a fat ass Zion fan.
I go back to my Bulls fan today.
Exactly, man. Trying to think seriously, who would I root for? The Grizzlies would never exist. Cause
I was a Bulls fan.
I was a Magic fan.
Bulls, Magic. I used to like Portland when Scottie Pippen was there.
I like Portland too when Rasheed Wallace and Bonzi Wells.
I like Boston when the big three were there. Paul Pierce, KG, and Ray Allen. I don't know what I'd do, man. I don't know what I'd do, but if the Grizzlies moved to Nashville, I would not be a Grizzly. Yeah, I ain't got to worry about that shit. I ain't got to worry about that shit because the Grizzlies are planning on doing some downtown development, and I doubt they plan on doing something like that for a city they're trying to get the hell up out of. So I don't know what's going on with that. But I bet it's going to be dope, whatever they got going on. We saw plans for, whose arena was that? The Clippers arena? The blueprints came out?
So.
I'm going to tell you something I hope the Grizzlies really do, man. And that is do what Toronto did, what the Clippers are doing with their arena, is build a outdoor fan park.
Like fan zone kind of? Yep.
With the big screen.
I think Milwaukee got one too.
They're set up for fans who, if it's a sellout at the game, the fans can go out there and watch the game there at the campus. Because come playoff time,
watch parties out there.
Yeah, the fire ass watch party. Because shout out to the people who put the watch parties on, but like the Grizzlies, like it just ain't. The budget ain't there. Like I'm not knocking the people who put the shows on. Come on, boy, BLJ does a great job hosting everything he does, but I just wish they would put more into it, like as far as money wise. And I hope that there's something they build. Because, man, FedEx Forum probably going to be cold as shit when they remodel that mug. Yep. But they're talking about doing that and other downtown building projects. So I'm down for all that, man. For all y'all people out there trying to count Robert Parra money, don't worry about Robert Parra money, man. He's showing y'all he about to do something with his money for sure. He trying to, for the pour into the city that the team is in, man. So I think this is going to be pretty dope. Also in Grizzlies news, Ja Morant reportedly has a AAU team coming. I don't know if it's going to be one in Memphis. I would assume it will probably not be one.
South Carolina.
Because it's going to be, because of AAU stuff, like there's already a Nike team here, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering about too.
Yeah, I'm wondering how that's going to go down.
Because
maybe South Carolina.
I don't know, man. If it's in Memphis, well, I think I know who might be kind of running the thing, and they're in Memphis.
Okay.
Which causes me some concern, well, not concern, but just kind of wondering, like, there's only one EYBL team here in this city.
Right.
And that's Team Thad.
Right.
And so I'm wondering,
and they're the Nike team, right?
And that's EYBL is the Nike circuit. You can only have one in a specific city. And so I'm wondering, like, obviously with Ja's relationship with Nike, man, does that change over? I don't know. That's
this big bank, well, I ain't going to say little bank, but it's going to be interesting to see how the whole thing plays out for sure.
But again, Saint Stradamus, you talked about this a long time ago when the Jaws started coming out. Like how dope it would be for him to have some kind of like
youth
kind of initiative where he was lacing them up all with Jaws.
The backyard boys, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I talk about the whole backyard boys thing. Yeah.
Yep. I think that's pretty dope that he's doing that.
Yeah, it's going down, man. This Ja 1 thing getting real out here, man. For real though. So yeah, Ja Morant's got the AAU thing going down. Think it's gonna be dope. I hope it's gonna be in Memphis for sure. That could be pretty cool. Also, in other Grizzlies related news, free what's his name?
D-Tap, baby.
Free D-Tap out here, man.
He's free, man.
My boy,
that man is free.
My boy, the Michael Cole. Hey, the Michael Cole be writing some hood ass stories.
I love it. I love it. That dude is from Memphis, bro.
Yeah,
I love
man.
it.
The Mike be writing the shit that the Memphis mother want to hear, man. Free D-Tap, man.
D-Tap, what was
Free
your first game back? DeMichael's that dude, man.
Oh, man. That's some hood ass shit there, man. We got to interview my boy D-Tap. You know what I'm talking about? We got to get D-Tap on the show, man. Let him speak, man, for real.
Free D-Tap.
Free D-Tap, man, for real, though. Hey, the vibes are good. The energy is good. Why not, man? What we holding my boy D-Tap? What he done to y'all, man?
It was a 1-year ban for a reason. That means it's over. Right?
It's over now.
Free D-Tap, man, for real. D-Tap a changed man, man. Yeah, shout out to my boy.
We'll see the second chances. Let's go.
Michael's that dude, man. I love it. I love that he wrote that story, man.
Yeah, I saw that shit.
I saw that. I was like, bro.
I said, this man here wildin', bro. I said, I love it, though. This man got the in-depth story. Do you have any quotes from D-Tap? Do you have any quotes from the story, Kenny?
I don't, man. I haven't had a chance to dive into it. I saw it as I was driving up.
Oh, man, I love it. I love every ounce of it. Don't get it mistaken, man, for sure.
Next time we get DeMichael on, we're going to have to ask him about that conversation, man, because that's funny,
No,
man.
I got to get D-Tap on the show, man. D-Tap, clear your name, D-Tap. D-Tap, hit me up if you want to come on, man, for sure.
We'll have him on, absolutely.
Oh, man, the Grizzlies will be mad as hell.
Free D-Tap.
Free D-Tap out here, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Number 3. My boy Petera Hardaway down bad out here, man. I've been in the message boards, man. I've been in the Discords. I've been on Facebook. Y'all trying to fire Penny, man. Y'all
You already do it.
Paris, let me give you behind the scenes of the
Oh,
last
man, it
couple
got
of
so
days.
crazy.
Of the last couple of days with Anthony and the message boards.
Oh, man.
He'll get in the message boards and then he'll call me and be like,
Man, this shit funny as hell, bro.
Like just laughing.
Hey, man, I'm gonna tell you who y'all got messed up. Y'all got my boy Roman messed up, man. Y'all got my boy Roman Cleary.
Leave Roman Cleary alone.
Man, hey, bro.
What they get on
Let
Roman
that man live, man. Now, I was in the Discord yesterday, bro. I'm texting Kenny, dying laughing, bro. It probably about 11 o'clock at night. I'm dying laughing with Kenny on the phone, bro. I said, Kenny, these folks, they just shot off on Hitman.
They got Hitman, they got Roman.
Roman just catching strays, man. I'm like, damn.
Dang.
It's talking basketball shit, man. Y'all damn bad. Just turn y'all into animals out here, man. Like, poor Roman. Roman went from being everybody loves Roman.
He's a sophomore in Memphis, man. Leave that man alone, bro. He's a kid. Leave him alone.
Oh, such a bitch ass up, bro. I'm like, oh, shit. Oh, shit. They tear Roman ass up. Like, shit.
I gotta go look at it now.
Oh, man. But boy, Roman catching straight. I said, Kitty. If somebody else get Roman, I'm letting you know, bro. They got to deal with Sain, bro.
That's right, man.
Ain't nobody just finna jump on my boy like that.
I know
man.
Kenny had to use that timeout function.
That timeout function was hot and heavy last night.
Man, I was in there crying laughing, bro. Hey, I'm talking about, it's down bad. It's down bad. All message boards, Facebook. Let me say this, man.
It's got folks reconsidering, like, life, bro. Like it is.
I get so tired of folks who say that. Like, you be like, man, just kill me now. Oh, they're like, bro, this stuff is not that serious, bro.
Like, people talk about the Grizzlies season. Oh, man, we're cursed, man. This season been fire to me, bro.
It's not that serious,
to find 2 diamonds in the rough in Gigi Jackson and Vince, I don't care about all this. I mean, whatever, bro. We wasn't going to the championship no way this year. The season messed up when Ja got hurt. You know what I mean? So, whatever. Steven Adams hurt. You knew you only had a cap on how good your season could be. But anyway, Tiger stuff, man. Let me say this, bro. This is a criticism of Penny Hardaway that I will say. Penny is, I don't even think it's X and O stuff. At one time, it seems like strategically, Penny was still learning, right? I think we're beyond it. I think as far as game planning, strategy, executing, knowing when to call timeout, I don't get into the stuff about playing his kids too much. Penny's rotations are fine. Like, his rotations don't bother me at all. Penny's flaw at this point is that he's not the best manager of personalities and people, right? And I think that's his thing. But to all you people out there saying, is it time to look at firing Penny and
get out of
let's look at this guy. This is the best case scenario for the University of Memphis is, because I'm gonna tell you what. No matter what guy you're talking about hiring, I'm not gonna throw any names out because I've heard some goofball names. I've heard all this different stuff. Heard y'all. What's my guy in Houston, man? The coach,
Kelvin Sampson.
Man, Kelvin Sampson would come to Memphis if.
That man's retiring.
Man, like why would he? Anyway,
80 years old.
He might got Houston
Right.
on top of the Big 12.
Right, in the Big 12, and he running the Big 12.
Right.
You know what I mean? So why is he coming here? I hate to call our fan base delusional, but I've said it at this point. Like we really think that we really think that we're like this all-time great franchise program, and everybody's going.
That's why I trip when our fan base like gets argument with like other fan bases.
Yeah,
and
like
call them
shut
out
up,
stuff.
man.
I'm like, bro,
Shut
y'all
up, man. You
justice
sound stupid.
worse than the folks.
You sound stupid, man.
Don't stop it.
All right, so this is what I'm trying to say. The best case for the University of Memphis is not to replace Penny Hardaway with another coach. Because I guarantee you, whatever guy you're talking about, that guy's ceiling of what he can be is not as great as the ceiling of what Penny Hardaway can be. The best case for if you're a Memphis Tiger basketball fan is for Penny to figure this shit out. Mm-hmm. That's what we need to hope happens. Need to hope that Penny figures this shit out. Because you're not going to find a guy who's as big as a household name as Penny, who can move and shake like Penny, who can get kids to sign for his school. Because I guarantee you, no matter how this season ends, Penny Hardaway is going to come back with another fire-ass class because that's what he knows how to do. That's because he's Penny Hardaway.
And think about it.
And you just need to hope that he figures it out. But go ahead.
This is nowhere near as worse as stop asking me stupid effing questions.
No.
That was like the low point.
That was the low point of his
Penny
run.
getting fired. Cause if they continue that trajectory, that could have happened.
Yeah, they could ask you some more stupid questions.
Right. Now look at us now. Like, dude, we ain't nowhere near that.
I hate to say I told you so, but these are things that I definitely been talking about for the past month, Kenny. And it's things that I definitely saw early in the season when everybody was, celebrating how good this team was. I was like, it's some stuff that looks strange to me. Yeah. You know what I mean? And the stuff that I thought then is definitely showing itself now. The team definitely has chemistry issues. And like I said earlier, Kenny, and Penny said the exact same thing. It's a bunch of guys who would the dude or next to the dude, the school they came from, they've transferred to this ain't their first stop, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They transferred before, and those guys' mentality comes with this type of stuff. But Penny has to figure that out, man. Like that's nobody's responsibility but his to figure it out. But as a fan, you need to be pulling and praying that he figures it out, not wondering who's next. Because I'm telling you, whoever you're talking about is next. That guy cannot take this program where Penny Hardaway can take it.
The reasoning behind it, I think that is solid, is he's had a team of all freshmen. Yep. He's had a team mixed freshman and veteran, and now he's got teams full of veterans.
Yeah.
Yep.
And in every one of those iterations of the Tiger roster, there's been chemistry issues.
Yep. And Penny has pointed the finger at the players.
And and so my response
Something wrong
to it
with
is,
y'all minds.
at some point,
he's got to take the responsibility.
You're going to have to take some responsibility and figure this out because there's only one common denominator in all of it.
Yep. It's him.
And it's him.
So what's the next wave going to be, Kenny? We tried the 5-star freshman. We tried the two really good dudes and a bunch of schmoes. We tried that.
I say that one. That worked the best. See, like
yeah, right. Two really good dudes and a bunch
that worked the best.
And some who bodies.
Right. I think, the next iteration is this. 15 dudes playing on the team, all 15 are from the city of Memphis.
Just a bunch of dudes.
Just a bunch of Memphis kids.
Yeah, just a bunch of Memphis kids.
Because you heard Penny say yesterday, man, the only guy who gets it on the team right now is Malcolm because he's from Memphis.
The problem with that, Kenny, is the ones that's not getting that rotation. There's going to be some problems.
Man, you seeing some bitching now. We have 15 Malcos out there.
You got the whole
you're gonna have
families.
You're gonna have the whole Douglas High School alumni coming after your ass.
And I'll say this too, man. This ain't to offend anybody's kid who might be watching, who might be listening, whatever.
Speak on this, Anthony.
It seems like everybody they're calling good in Memphis.
Yep.
It's like an undersized guard. Like there aren't.
Yep.
Like the talent pool in Memphis is not. Because in Memphis back in the day, man, you could get like McDonald's All-American level bigs are coming through here.
Yeah.
Like you get a lot of 6'8", 6'9". It's like all guards. And you got guys who are like scoring 40 points a game and like getting offers from, scratch head tech. Like, why this kid ain't like, he's 5'9" and whatever. I mean, it's like it's just the state of local basketball is kind of falling off.
Memphians have forever overrated their players in high school.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
too.
I'll be frank with you. Like, and I love this family, but the Lawsons are a great example of this. Dietrich and KJ were dominant in high school here in Memphis. Dominant. Dietrich was All-American, great player, 5-star, and just that was it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he's just not the player that everybody thought he was. You know,
I just don't know I don't know what the winning formula for Penny would be. But I will say this, man. Like, it seems like Penny gets excited when he starts getting these teams together. And it's almost like he just gets one too many dudes. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he's been a problem, but it seems like he's a fit issue. Jaquan Walton, right? Mm-hmm. Like, did you really have to go get another scorer? Or could you just said, okay, Quinley and Jones are my scorers.
Right.
Let me go get a what's the kid who left?
Well, I say kept the guy who left, but I think he left before they got Drew.
No, he decommitted before, but it was because
he started going out after other dudes, right?
Right. Like Penny had basically pulled his situation from him. TFL Leonard.
Yeah.
Like the guy that was all-world defensive player.
He's perfect for this. And that's what they miss.
And
right
that's
now.
what's the identity that Penny has always talked about as being a defensive team. And then you go get Jaquan, who's a pure scorer, right? And now you got a bunch of dudes who are scorers who are not the defenses. I mean, they gave up 97 points to UAB.
It ain't really doing what it's supposed to do. I think it's still salvageable. I think the season's gonna be fine. But man, the 8-9 seed is just calling our names.
Yeah, they got 8-9 right now. I saw that.
I don't know if you're a fan of
that Rick James thing, that Rick James meme you keep putting up, or that
it's coming.
Just come on
back to the 8-9 seed. Right. Come on, Memphis. You just showed your ass. With the 10th rank in the nation. You thought you were going to be the 2 or 3 seed.
Like, how Tennessee, North Carolina ahead of us?
Hey, I didn't think Duke better than us.
Oh, man.
Hey,
bring y'all ass back down to this 8-9 seed.
Hey, listen, here's the crazy part. Gabe said this on the Bluff this week. He said 2 weeks ago the Tigers were 10th in the nation. Today, they're 7th in the AAC.
7th?
7th.
Oh, wow. Bring that ass back on down to 8-9. Hey, here's some optimism, man. As we go to the break, man, here's some optimism for the people who...
you want to have wild it is. There are only 3 teams in ACC, which is a power conference, that's projected to make the tournament.
Right.
You're 7th in the AAC.
Man, you know they're going to finish better than that, but still, God.
No, they will. They'll get it right.
Hey, but check it out, though, Ken. This is some optimism I'm going to give the Tiger basketball fans, man. And I'm going to tell y'all who y'all should be mad at. I ain't going to tell y'all who cursed y'all season. But y'all, since y'all want to talk about Grizzlies being curses, I ain't gonna tell you. Go look on Twitter. Somebody was running their mouth and cursed y'all damn season. I ain't gonna tell y'all who it is. I mean, we'll talk about that over the break. But if you want some optimism, right? If this looks like another 8-9 seed game, right? I'll still say this right now, sitting in this seat. The Tiger basketball team is one of the most talented teams in the country, right?
Yep.
This is how luck and fate can play out for you, man. You get the 8-9 game, you win the 8-9 game, which means you take on who, Ken?
Number 1 seed.
You get to take on number 1 seed, right?
And potentially
that team could be anybody. You know?
Because there's not
it could be Tennessee or Kentucky.
There's not dominant teams.
It ain't no dominant teams, right? Ain't no dominant teams.
But think about it, it could be Tennessee or Kentucky.
Right.
In the second round.
Right.
Versus Memphis.
Versus Memphis, right? You get a game like that. We've seen this team take on Gonzaga.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
We've seen this team. We saw stuff happen last year where if you'd have beat FAU,
you've been fun to folk.
you had an easy ride.
Bro,
listen, let me finish.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Let's say you get whoever, right? There ain't no better. It ain't finna be nobody way more talented than you. Do they got 4 great big men like we got? I doubt it. You know what I mean? Do they got Jake? Do they have David Jones? Do they got Quinley? Do they got these guys? You know, whatever. Let's say you mess around and you beat that number 1 seed, right? Which is very capable. Guess what happens, Kenny? You're the number 1 seed now. You get the path that they had.
You assume that position. Yep.
Look at that optimism, man.
I love it.
Because it's coming.
It's coming. I loved it.
Come on. Penny, bring your ass.
Man.
Bring your ass.
They might could sneak to the 7th.
I know that 10-game winning streak felt good, man. I know that number 10 ranking in the country felt good, but Penny, bring your ass back on down to this 8-9. It's destiny. I don't know if you're a Marvel Comics fan, Kenny, but they talked about things that are on the timeline that are, what did they say? Shit, man. Some shit just gotta happen. Like,
it's fate. He said that a few weeks ago. He's like, we're an 8-9 team, man. We've always been an 8-9 team.
Embrace it, man.
Embrace it.
No matter what you do, it's coming back. Come on, bring your ass back on down to this 8-9 seed. Y'all get up off Penny, man. Y'all get up off Penny, man. He gonna figure it out, man. But I tell you what, we're gonna take a break, y'all. When we come back, we got some very special guests, man, from Attitude MMA. They got a show coming up on February the 10th. We got a lot of interviews coming up from those guys. We got 2 wrestlers and the guys who put the shows together. They're gonna come in, interview all those guys here on the Anthony Sain Show. See y'all for that in a minute. We'll see y'all in a minute, y'all.
What I think this team's going to look like and like how they get things right, I can't project that.
I can't either.
How do you make people like each other with your team chemistry issues? How do you find a leader that's not Caleb Mills that can step up and start saying things to this team that they'll actually it'll resonate with them? Like all the things that they need to fix are they're out of the control of anything you do on the floor.
Right.
It's about liking each other more. And when does that happen? I don't know.
Yeah. It's not really physical stuff, I think, that this team's dealing with right now.
It turns into physical stuff.
It does. It does.
For sure.
But I think it all starts mentally and chemistry-wise and teamwork-wise, and that stuff's just not there.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Are y'all more concerned about the 21 season stuff that you heard or the stuff that's going on right now that we're hearing?
Probably 21, because I feel like those were just stronger personalities, if that makes sense. Like, I mean, that was a real, like, you got a bunch of guys that are kind of all the same age, have been playing ball together like a long time. That was more of like a old head versus new kids on the block kind of thing. Like, you got Amani coming in who's like on the cover of Sports Illustrated. You think Landers gives 2 shits about that? Thinks his kid's coming in all entitled. Penny hands him the keys.
I'm gonna be really pissed off if this team doesn't get it right, because this team has everything it needs to make a deep run. These are 25-year-old grown men. This isn't a 17-year-old Amani Bates who's got his daddy sitting up underneath the goal, screaming at Penny Hardaway from the baseline, and they're going to let this bullshit get in the way. Bro, I'm going to be pissed if they don't get this right.
Tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show. Got a special guest today, one of several special guests I got today, performing at Attitude MMA. Fights 29 coming up on February the 10th. It's going to be back at the Memphis Music Room. They took a hiatus, went somewhere else for a minute. They're going to be back at the Memphis Music Room. Saturday, February 10th, doors open at 6 p.m. It's going to be off the chain. Excuse me, doors open at 5 p.m. It's going to be off the chain. Be prepared for a full night of action at Attitude MMA. And one of the guys in the main event you're going to see is my guy, Ethan Burmingham is in the building. Ethan, what's going on, my brother?
Not much, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. You came in. I saw your resume, so to speak. Saw you on the 20 years old. Been beating folks' ass for a long damn time, I've heard, man. When exactly did you start in the industry, MMA fighting?
I started training when I was 11, 2015. I started fighting. I started fighting youth MMA in either 2018 or 2019.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't fight amateur until I turned 16. And I went 5-0, 4-0 or 5-0 in youth MMA and became the 135-pound champion.
Mm-hmm.
Then I turned amateur as soon as I turned 16, went 8-0, was 4-time featherweight champion, twice for SFC, twice for SEFC. And now I'm 2-0 as a pro, and next week I'll be making my 3rd pro fight.
So you've never lost a fight on any level?
No, sir.
So what's gonna be like when you first take that first loss, man? Or are you gonna take that first loss?
I don't know. I hope I don't.
Yeah, it's kind of. I ain't trying to wish a loss on you. I'm just wondering, like, that's kind of wild to think about, because I've got a son that's 10 years old.
I mean, yeah, it's always scary to think about but I mean, that's what makes fighting so special, because no matter how much better you are than a guy, all it takes is one punch.
Yeah.
All it takes is one punch to change a fight.
Yeah, because I got a kid that's 10, and I'm still like wiping tears out his eyes, like if he fall and bruise his knee or some shit, and you talking about taking punches to the face at 11. So I'm trying to. But the little kids, they don't get hit in the face, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, youth MMA, no, it's no headshots.
Right. So what's been like your biggest? Who are guys that you kind of look at as a fan or inspired to like go on the same path they've been on, that have already done their thing?
Bryce Mitchell was a big one that I looked up to growing up. He was one of the ones that got me into MMA because, he come from exactly where I come from, just small town in Arkansas. So
he's an Arkansas boy, man.
Like, well, if he can do it, I can do it. You know? So I hopped into it. Growing up, my dad always watched UFC. I never thought anything of it. I always went to my room, did my own thing. I got in trouble one day. He made me sit on the couch and watch an event with him one time. And that's what really got me into it. That's what really started making me want to do it.
So what are your aspirations like in 5 years? Where do you see yourself? You're only 20 years old now. So at 25, where do you see yourself in this particular industry?
Definitely in the UFC by then, for sure.
So when you see guys like Danny Barlow who've already made it, so you think you could, you're not from Memphis or whatever, but you see a guy who, he's right up the street here in Memphis. So
me and Danny trained together.
Yeah, because you're in law school, right?
Yeah.
See, when I heard you come in and say you were law school, now I'm an MMA novice, right? I just started watching since I got connected with Kenny Stubblefield, a producer who's a big MMA fan. And then when I started connecting with you guys and bringing you guys on, I started going. And I noticed law school is, like, I'm a bandwagon type dude. I'm a front runner, right? So y'all the shit.
Yeah, everybody at law school. Everybody.
Right. So when I saw you and they said he was law school, I was like, oh yeah, he about to get on somebody's ass. You know what I mean? For real.
Yeah.
So what's that relationship like being part of that team? They're a Memphis team. You're from Wynn, Arkansas. How did that connection get started? And what do you feel like? How do you feel being on part of that team?
One of my coaches, Willie McLaughlin, he sent me over about a year ago. It was last January to go train over with Brian at law school. And when I went over there, I've never experienced that kind of training. I've never had that many bodies. I've never seen that many fighters my size. And every time I went with somebody, it was competitive. So I just kept coming back. And then eventually, around September of last year, I went full-time, quit my job, and went full-time training, moved to Memphis. And now I'm just making a big run at it,
That's what's up, man. Final question for you. I see they call you the arm assassin. So I'm assuming you locking them up. Oh, excuse me, almost cussed, Ken. Almost cussed for real. But I assume that you are putting some real damage to somebody's arm since they call you the arm assassin. So what's that all about?
That was I actually remember how that started. So growing up, I always did jiu-jitsu tournaments, traveled all over the country like every weekend. And my original coach, Burge Franks, he's where I got most of my credentials from, like jiu-jitsu and my entire amateur career, I got all from Burge. And my first 2 pro fights, I was under Burge. But yeah, so I got back from a tournament one day, and I was known because I would tap everybody with an arm bar just over and over and over again. And we went to, I think it was Jackson, Mississippi one time, and we competed, and I competed 12 times, and 11 of them were by arm bar. And we were in the group chat, and we sent the message in the group chat, and Burge replied. He said, "The arm assassin strikes again." So I took it and run with it, Yeah. So that stuck as my nickname.
So what do you know about your opponent for next Saturday's event? Any concerns? What his style is? How do you feel about the fight you got coming?
No, he's a new replacement because my original opponent, Fantroy, backed out.
He didn't want to see the arm assassin, did he, bro?
No, I know this guy.
I need this arm. Shit. All right, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, he's a 3-time state champion wrestler. I do know that much, but that's about all I know about him.
So you know,
I think he's pretty new to the MMA.
So you coming into it pretty blind about who you facing. Okay. So when people see you next Saturday night, what should they expect when you get in the ring?
Violence.
Oh yeah, that's what I like to hear, man. I'm pro violence, Kenny. I don't know about you. I'm with it. I definitely have a good time every time I come out. Make sure y'all check it out, man. February the 10th, Memphis Music Room. Doors open at 5. Be prepared for a great night of action. Attitude MMA fights, put on great shows. You get to see my guy, Ethan Burmingham, gonna be in the ring. Don't bring your good arm, man. You're gonna be one arm shout when you get in the ring with my guy, man. About to take a break. When we come back, we got some more interviews from Attitude MMA coming up soon here on the Anthony Sain Show. See y'all in a minute. All right, y'all. We're back on the Anthony Sain show with my man, Petera Wilson. Attitude MMA fights going down next Saturday. Doors open at 5 at the Memphis Music Room. We just had my guy, Ethan Burmingham, came on a few minutes ago. My guy, homegrown. Petera Wilson is in the building. Petera, what's going on with you, bro?
What's good, bro? Appreciate you for having me on the show.
Man, glad you could come out, man. Anytime you guys have a show, I slide in Scottie DM. I slide in Jamie DM. I say, man, I got to get y'all on, man. I got to get my guys on for sure. You guys, we've built a nice relationship, so it's glad to see you guys on. You also undefeated. Never lost a fight before. I asked Mr. Birmingham.
I will correct that.
Okay.
I do this just because, I'm a man. I'm fact check. I'm going to talk my shit when I need to. I lost my first ever unprofessional amateur fight by split decision.
Okay, well, we're going to call you undefeated.
Bro. When
the money was on the table.
Because when there's money involved, it's me. I like my odds on me every time.
It's just like on the video game. You might beat me when it's free, but like
you heard me.
I mentioned how you from Memphis, man, and it's just different. You know what I mean? I've heard Danny Barlow speak about how being from Memphis is just a different type of swag, different type of energy. What's it like representing your hometown when you get into the ring?
I mean, in Memphis ain't no one-on-one, so this the only time you're gonna see me in action one-on-one. It's get ugly too, because you seen my fights, you seen my opponents after the fight. You don't leave it without some blood on your face and on my hands. So we finish fights every time.
Yeah, something I've always been intrigued about whenever I bring you guys on is the weight cutting thing.
Right.
Like it does that every time. Like it totally turns the conversation when we talk about the weight cutting. What's that like for you? What does your weight cutting look like? Because I've heard some wild stuff come out of you guys' mouths, man.
So my weight cut is non-existent.
Okay.
I will not refuse to cut weight. It's not happening because, and this is where I'm gonna toot my own horn, but I can back it up and prove it. Ain't nobody beating me. I show up what my weight is, at my weight, and we can get it in right there. Ain't no need for me to cut weight to pick on somebody smaller than me. I ain't got time for it.
Yeah.
Show up at your weight, I'm gonna show up at mine, and we're gonna see who's gonna get it in. And it's me.
So that's that Memphis shit, man. You ain't gonna get that for nobody else, man. That's what you get from a Memphis dude when he's in the ring. What are your thoughts about the current state of the local scene, the competition level, the training, the different schools? I know you at law school. Shout out to law school again. But I'm trying to get some gear, man. Can you give me some gear, bro?
I got you.
You got something in the car?
You want a jacket? You want a t-shirt?
Man, whatever. I don't want to get my ass whooped just wearing the shit and I ain't law school though.
I got you. I got you a hoodie.
I bet.
I got
That's
you.
what I'm talking. You got it on you right now though? Is in the cars?
I got to check the car.
I bet. All right. But what's your thoughts on the local scene though, all together?
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. If you ain't from law school, you wasting your time.
All right.
We putting boys in the UFC. You see Danny just got that call up. You know I'm knocking on the door next. The next best competition is, fight for second. I don't really care. That's what y'all do. But that's what it is.
Yeah.
You trying to be the best, we the best. You got to beat the man to beat the man.
Right, for sure. How young were you when you got started, and kind of tell us how you got to where you are now, kind of your path from there to now?
So when I got out of college, after the combine, after pro day, after my little stint trying out for the NFL and all that, I came back home.
So you played college football?
Yeah.
Who'd you play for?
University of Tulsa.
Okay, yeah.
Oklahoma, yeah.
Oh yeah, you played college football.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I didn't play, but
I got
you. We gonna get that's another story, another time. Yeah, behind me. But so I came back home. And really didn't know, that next step because all life growing up is football. This, how we get my family out of here. And so now the real life instance of life after football, because NFL not for long. So for some it's quicker than others.
Right.
You gotta adjust. You knew the risk when you played the game. So here it is. So first I stumbled into a just random UFC gym. I Googled it, go out there, UFC gym, meet Coach Brian Hall for the first time. Tell him hey, trying to train, see what y'all talking about. At first he hear that 24/7. Everybody walk in, hey, I'm trying to do this and that. 2 days in, and they never heard of it again. So that be the process, sticking with it. And he show you love if he see you gonna keep the pattern up, keep consistently coming. And that's what happened. And then it led to him taking me into the team, giving me my first fight, amateur fight. Lost that, but ever since that we've been training, drilling, getting the technique, getting it done, and we ain't lost nothing since.
That's what I'm talking about, man. I got another question for you.
For sure.
We had guys who, I can't remember who it was that asked this question, but he had a boxing background. And I said, which one do you think is more dangerous, boxing or MMA? And he said boxing real fast, right?
Yeah.
So you played football. You played college. You played high-level college football.
For sure.
Which one is more dangerous, football or MMA?
So, I'm going to say, and I'm going to knock on wood, and any NFL people listening out there, don't quote me on this. And if you tell anyone else, I'm going to call you a lie to your face.
Okay.
For sure, NFL more dangerous because there are times, you take a nice solid hit, boom, you look concussed. They ask you good, I'm going to lie through my teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm straight. Go back out there, probably with concussion or something. Because, it's the game. Whereas MMA, the ref going to pull you off if he see it's going south. But then, other sports, physical contact sports, that's why it's a little bit more dangerous because there's not that ref who takes the safety. And they got better with it over the time, with the new protocols and everything. But for sure, I'd say that every time the league more dangerous.
Yeah. That's an interesting response.
That's a car wreck every time.
Yeah, I definitely see what you're saying, though, for sure. Well, we got my boy Petera Wilson here, Attitude MMA fight next Saturday, February the 10th, at the Memphis Music Room. I'm going to give you the mic. I'm going to give you the camera, man. Tell us about your opponent you got coming next Saturday. In the final words for him.
It's a guy. That's how I feel. It don't matter who you is. What they said he John Jones' training partner.
Hey, I heard something like that myself.
Something like that.
Yeah,
it don't matter.
Hey, don't put me in it. Just go ahead.
It don't matter. So whoever you is, you can be Zeus. Show up. It's God of War type shit.
I feel you, bro.
Be here.
I feel you. Well, it's going down. I'll tell you, man. When these Memphis dudes get up here, it'll be a totally different type of energy, man. But make sure y'all get some of that energy. Next Saturday, February the 10th, at the Memphis Music Room, my boy Petera Wilson, undefeated,
Definitely
undisputed. We ain't talking about no amateur shit, man. Leave that back in the past, man. We ain't on that. But going forward, my boy is undefeated, man. Check him out next Saturday. I'm telling you, it's going down. We're about to take a break. We're going to have my boy Scottie Swanger, Jamie Grant from Attitude MMA. We're going to wrap up this big show talking about Attitude MMA next Saturday. We'll see you guys in a minute here on the Anthony Sain Show. All right, y'all, we're back on the Anthony Sain Show. Got my guy Scottie Swanger, Jamie Grant from Attitude MMA. Y'all seen two fighters already. You got the big dogs behind the curtain, man. The guys who make it happen, put the shows together. Like I said, man, I've been to every show since we started this relationship with you guys. Hopefully I can make this one. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can't. But I'm going to try best I can to make this next one. But y'all make sure y'all be there, man. It's Saturday, February the 10th. Memphis Music Room. Doors open at 5. Like I said, it's going to be an action-packed night at the Memphis Music Room. A great facility to watch MMA fights, man. I'll say that for sure. Guys, this is Attitude Fights number 29. Another action-packed card you guys have. We just had my guy Ethan Burmingham, Petera Wilson. They've been on so far. What did y'all think? What do y'all think about the main event you guys have? What should people expect from those two big fights you have?
You expect to see two guys go to work. Dwight Matters coming into town. Jackson Wink MMA. This guy's got a crew behind him. He trains with absolute killers. Petera Wilson, PT coming out of law school here in Memphis, he absolutely trains with killers. It's going to be a war. Both guys are undefeated right now. Petera's, looking to make his move to the next level, man, and he's hoping to catch a win. Scottie sets these things up and looks for guys that are, that are going to be competitors. And he does a pretty good job of matching these guys up.
Scottie, I know that something you pride yourself on is trying to get guys to the next level. You know what I mean? You guys had my guy Danny Barlow, who just got the UFC deal, on to do bigger and better things. What do you, when you're looking for talent, when you're like scouting guys or looking at film or going to watch guys fight, what are some of the things that people may not think about, like that you would be looking for in a guy that something that you see in a guy that someone else may not see, as far as a guy who has that potential to get out of here?
A lot of the guys we're getting up are a lot of 2 or 3 fight vets that we're trying to move on. Like we said last time, we don't want an 8-year reigning Memphis champion. We want guys to get out. And like we talked about Danny Barlow a while ago, we saw him. He made his amateur debut for us. And as he progressed, you see the change in him. Some of these guys just have it. Like talking with Ethan, he's got that. You've got to be able to kind of pick and choose who fits what fight correctly. You don't want to get, it sounds bad, but you don't want to get 2 guys that are going to hold each other for 5 rounds. That's not what you want.
Right.
You want guys that want to fight. And I tell all my coaches, guys that want to fight, I'm going to put them on.
And like you said, with both Ethan and Petera, a ton of confidence in those guys. 2 guys that are undefeated or whatever. How do you both of them are like, I don't plan on ever losing. You know what I mean? So
right.
but what's that like as promoters? Just trying to find how do you find guys that are able to trust the process pretty much?
Well, it's hard. Like this is Ethan's third or fourth opponent on this card. You've got to find a guy that's got enough fights that he ain't scared to fight nobody. Sometimes you got to take guys last minute. Like, hey, I'll take this fight. I need it. But the hard part is you have guys that fight to make some money. You got to find the guys that want to fight for their career.
Right.
That's the hard part because some of these guys are good at playing people. Oh yeah, dude, I want to fight. I'm 0-9. Good for you. But that doesn't.
What's that do? That does nothing for anybody. You know.
Anybody. If we're feeding these guys a bunch of 0-9, 0-10 guys, that does nothing for them. They're going to go onto a big show and then get destroyed because they've never had any competition. Right. Competition helps.
What's the biggest advancement you guys have seen in the local MMA scene, probably like in the last 4 or 5 years? Like whether it's technology, whether it's just the quality of the guys, the schools, participation, cooperation from different organizations, whatever. Like what do you think is the biggest advancement you guys have seen like in 5 to 10 years or whatever?
You know, Scottie and I came on board Attitude in 2018. Something like that. You know, they had put 13 successful shows together, and then him and I came on board. And I bring a casino marketing background to what I do. Scottie is the ideal matchmaker for the area, and then our job was to build relationships with teams, fighters, gyms. You know, where you look at some of these teams that may have a beef with this gym over here, this coach don't like that person over there. You know, Scottie and I are the common voice in the city. You know, we have the ability to run in and out of these different gyms, have conversations with people. We're dapping it up with everybody. We don't pick sides, man. We're here to cheer everybody in this city on, and that's what it's about for us. You know, I think that, you know, now instead of all these guys trying to compete against each other and be their own advocates, now they've got us, you know, trying to be their advocate for them. You know, and I think that's helped a lot out in the city. So.
And it goes from Memphis, Mississippi to Arkansas.
Right. It's not just Memphis. I mean, we're North Mississippi, Arkansas. You know, we got guys out of Little Rock that come over and fight. We've got guys out of DeSoto County, guys out of Tupelo, guys out of Oxford that all come up to Memphis. And they are part of it. It takes all of them to make the Memphis scene what it is.
Well, like I said, we're here with Jamie Grant, Scottie Swanger of Attitude MMA. Like I said, the fight is February the 10th. Doors open at 5 at the Memphis Music Room. I'm telling you, it's a great facility. No bad seats in the house. It's going to be a great show. I'm telling you, they put on a very professional, top-of-the-line show. Make sure y'all go check it out. How do people get tickets, guys, to the event?
They could jump online. You can go to the Attitude MMA Facebook page. Go to the real Facebook page, not the fake book. You know, there are a lot of fakes running around, man. I'm already busting some of these guys. Go to a certified page. You know, message me if you need tickets, and I'll send you the right link. The pay-per-view is not a pay-per-view. This is a free-for-view. We're going to be on YouTube. I hear the word on the street is we're going to be on the LFA channel.
Oh, wow.
LFA YouTube page. Our fight is going to be free. Follow them, check it out. What a great opportunity to put Memphis and these guys on a global level.
That's what I'm talking about. We're gonna do some giveaways too. We're gonna do some giveaways today. We're gonna do some giveaways all through the week up until the day of the event for free tickets. We're gonna let y'all know how to get those. It's coming up soon though, y'all. I'm telling you, Saturday, February the 10th. Great show, man. I walked in and never been to an MMA fight, and I cannot miss them now. Like every time they have one, y'all coming on, right? Y'all.
It's an experience, man.
Right. I cannot miss it for sure, man. So you guys make sure you check it out. Jamie Grant, Scottie Swanger of Attitude MMA. You just saw 2 awesome fighters before them. Make sure y'all come check it out. I'm telling you, it's going to be a great night. About to take a break. When we come back, it's going to be more of the Anthony Sain Show here.
Is there a way for this to be turned around? Sure. How does that happen? And this is typically what we do is how does that happen? And we talk about it. I really can't give you anything. I really can't give you.
That we haven't said 400 times in the past 2 weeks.
Right. And we haven't seen any of that acted upon or anything really change from this team, from this coaching staff from that point. So I'm extremely concerned.
These problems, how can you solve them?
Yeah.
Like, is there any real way to make that happen?
Yeah.
Because if not, I'm just going to have to project them to lose more games along the way if they can't figure this whole thing out. And I think the two things, if the 2 things they need to fix, like each other, that's hard to do.
Yeah.
And then 2, find a vocal leader in the locker room. Those two things I think would solve, I don't know, 90% of the issues that ail this team.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Basketball at times has turned into like very selfish, individual, statistical, like let me get mine regardless of a win or loss, especially at the collegiate level when guys are trying to make it to the next level or professionally. It's not necessarily all about coming in and winning games and championships and playing together and guys being willing to sacrifice. You get more guys that want to go out there and score points and make flashy plays for themselves personally than you do get teams that just want to win basketball games.
Well, and I think the transfer portal has kind of accentuated that, right?
Oh, 100%. You come in and you got 13 new guys every year. Like it's going to be difficult to.
It's almost like you got 13 mercenaries, right? That are representing a team that the majority of the fan base would live and die for. Tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show. Shout out to the good people at Attitude MMA. Awesome interviews we had with the whole crew, man. We got two guys representing two of the main event fights that came out. Ethan Burmingham, Petera Wilson. Memphis' own Petera Wilson was in the building. Shout out to them. Scottie, Swanger, and Jamie Grant, the guys behind the scenes making things happen for Attitude MMA. Check them out again. Like I said, February the 10th. Doors open at 5 p.m. Memphis Music Room. Go to the website to check out how to get those tickets to the event. Inside the Same Brain, man, where we talk about what's going on on a naysayer's mind, man, out here. A lot of stuff going on. Parish Sharkey, I was finally able to sit down and watch The Color Purple.
I thought you said you weren't going to watch that movie.
I never said that at all.
You said you were going to pay to go see it.
I said I wasn't going to go see it in the damn movie theater.
That's right.
And I still would. I still would go see it in the movie theater. But I will say this. I watched it on a very 4K stream at my house. I have ways of watching shit. Don't get in my business, but I did watch it. I think you can like rent it or buy it for like $30 or something like that, some kind of way. I don't know how people are watching it, but dang, what I did. But because those streams are available, my stream is available. So shout out to the people who actually are purchasing the shit. But I watched The Color Purple. I actually did like the movie, Parish. Have you seen the first movie?
Yeah, the
original, the OG.
Yeah,
Ken, have you seen?
Yeah.
You seen The Color Purple?
Yes.
All right. I'll say this, quick review of the movie, and we'll slide up out of here. It was not as musical as people were talking. Like, I was thinking I was about to go watch Hamilton. The way people were talking, right? It was a lot more acting, and then you kind of knew when the music scenes were coming. Like, all the music scenes felt appropriate, like when they put those in. The acting was fine. The guy who played Mr., who typically was Danny Glover in the past.
Yeah.
It's this dude, I can't think of his name, is something Domingo or something like that. But he played in Candyman too.
Yeah, I was about to say the guy from Candyman.
Yeah, that dude is a nasty dude, man. And I'll say something that's kind of maybe an unpopular take. Now, everybody knows that Danny Glover was Mr. Right. This Domingo dude came off grimier or just being like nastier than meaner almost than Danny Glover was. Right. That may be because I knew who Danny Glover was before The Color Purple. So he was like dude from 48, not 40, he's dude from Beverly Hills Cop or whatever. I mean, whatever movie it was, 48 Hours, whatever that movie was. So I knew him from other stuff. So seeing him in that character had to adjust. But this Domingo dude was pretty nasty as Mr. The movie, like I said, was better than I thought it would be. I've been thinking other stuff people were saying. People were saying that the movie bashes women, bashes men. I didn't think that. It was kind of, that's kind of how stuff was back during the Jim Crow era. And there were people talking about that they were offended by the homosexuality, the lesbian stuff between Miss Celia and Miss Sophia. Miss Celia and Suge Avery.
Yeah.
It felt like the exact same stuff that was in the first movie. It didn't seem. It seemed like a lot of stuff that was implied in the first movie, they kind of came on with it for this movie, but it wouldn't anything that crucial to me. I think it was fine, but I would not go see it in theaters. You know what I mean? But it kind of, I liked it because it also shared, it kind of showed you the women in the movie, like the sisterhood and the bonding had more. You kind of knew, it kind of focused on that part. Like it was really the women overcoming the bullshit that women went through during that era of time. So I liked it. Go watch it. Go download it. Go bootleg it. Whatever you need to do. The Color Purple. It won me over for sure, man. I'll tell you what, Parish, we about to slide up out of here, bro. I appreciate you once again. My man, Parish Sharkey. Check him out. The beat writer for the Memphis Grizzlies for Bluff City Media. Check him out. Shout out to my guys from Attitude MMA. Check them out again. Next weekend, for sure, go check them out for sure. Shout out to all the guys that will be participating. For Kenny Stubblefield behind the glass. For my man, Parish Sharkey. This your boy, Anthony Sain. We out.
Thank you for listening to the Anthony Sain Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. For comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports, head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co and find out how you can become an insider. We will see you back here next week.